What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and you just watched that trailer for the 8th anniversary of Marvel Future Fight. And that was a damn good trailer. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the live stream that they threw out. The gentleman that was speaking for it was pretty much abysmal, didn't even look excited, didn't look joyful or anything for the 8th anniversary of the game. Didn't even look like he actually even played the game. To be perfectly frank with you guys, that was actually quite disappointing when I watched that live stream. And that's why I didn't do a reaction to it, because honestly, it would have been a pretty somber, sour reaction, because that old boy, no offense to him, I'm sure he was doing the best he could, just didn't look excited at all, which really doesn't create much excitement for the players. But it really is pretty awesome to be able to play a game that's been around for so long. 8 years is quite an accomplishment for a mobile game. That is just nuts. I've played this game longer than any other game that I've ever played in my life. And I'm somebody that plays games literally for years. And the fact that this game has been going on for 8 years really is, it's an accomplishment, guys. It really is insane. And there's a lot of deals in here similar to Black Friday that we are getting. Now, I'm not really, personally, guys, I'm not really spending any money on these deals. I did buy one deal. I'll be honest about that. I did buy one deal, and I'm going to highlight that deal, or what I got out of that deal today. But, they got all these nice little crystal deals. I mean, so if you're a spender, you can go hog wild. You can go hog wild, buy you some crystals. You can come to the store and you can queue up these deals. This is what I actually did buy. I actually bought one of these Rage packs. This is what I bought for $50 because I wanted a Mighty Rage for my Black Widow. And we actually have a chance of getting a Brilliant or a Mighty or a Brilliant of whatever other type of CTP in here. But to be perfectly frank with you guys, I don't want a Brilliant. I don't want a Brilliant at all. And I know some of you are thinking, what? No, those things are just too difficult to re-roll, guys, because you got to use CTPs. A Mighty is a different world. Mighty, you can use a regular obelisk to re-roll, free-to-play way. It's just a much better way. I know it's not free-to-play to buy this thing, but you can reforge a Rage free-to-play in the game, at least over a good amount of time, especially depending on your luck. But, even as a spender, I just can't stand the fact that you need CTPs to re-roll Brilliance. So I was like, just praying I got a Mighty, and I did, luckily. And then, they have a whole slew of other deals in here, guys. You can decide whether or not any of these things are really worth buying. I mean, I'm not buying any of them because really, I would just wait for Black Friday myself. They do have one here for 6,000 crystals. You can get a regular CTP out of here. I mean, these things here, guys, we get these. I would never, ever do this. I would never spend 6,000 crystals on that pack. No way. And then they have some other little things in here, like, of course, the event quest, right? But then we have the secret shop. Now, I did this last Black Friday, and I did get a Brilliant Judgment out of here. And that's why I mentioned a second ago that I just don't really want to go for Brilliance anymore, because those things are just too difficult to re-roll. It requires way too many resources. So personally, guys, I'm just not going to wail, and I'm not going to come in here, and I'm not going to do this. Now, there's nothing wrong if you do. There's nothing wrong with wanting to come in here and go all for it, because, I mean, you can get, a Rage out of here, a Brilliant Rage, which is really going to be the Kingdom Come, or maybe even a Brilliant Judgment for characters these days, especially Tier 4, especially the way their kits are designed. I mean, the Brilliant Destruction is still awesome, and the energy is still awesome, obviously, for PvP. If you're using a Authority, or you're using a CTP of Regeneration or Greed, those can be very, very powerful as well. But due to the difficulty of re-rolling Brilliance, I just don't really feel motivated to really come in here and do this again. It was such a pain in the butt to re-roll that Brilliant CTP of Judgment that I had last year. I just don't really care to do it again. But if you are doing it, good luck to you. And then we have a craft event, which is pretty cool, right? Where you have a chance of getting any of these things out of here. This is actually really, really nice. I do like this. This is really, really cool. You farm for all these materials and try to get these boxes out of the event, which is nice. And you get those out of the event mission. And this is a nice little event that, we play to get, these letters for those boxes. So that's really cool that Netmarble decided to throw that out at us. Now on to another subject, which is Black Widow. Now, This is a character that I've always felt was super, super underrated. I made multiple videos about her, and I kept saying in lots and lots of videos that if I just had a mighty rage on her, it's all I would need. And this isn't even a really good re-rolled one. I mean, I do have the 60% ignore boss damage decrease, but this 160% critical damage by 160%, this actually can go up to 200%. So it's not even the best rolled mighty. And yet, with 100% physical attack, I can max out my ABX scores. I can max out my ABL, which I'm going to show you guys, or at least get to 6 million points in ABL, right? And I'm going to show you a little run, guys, where I just use a regular rage. And the build on her, I mean, she does have a good substantial build. She's got quite a few Odin's Blessings on her. I do have 100% physical attack on her as well. She's got fully awakened Power Ranger Hawk set. She has an artifact, which doesn't even help. And then she has a regular uniform. And when it comes to the gameplay, guys, we'll just start off with ABX, right? And whenever I use just a regular rage, I could do really, really well. And this is the speed superhero team. I would do really, really well, but I never could max out the score. I never could get to that 12 million points. And I said over and over and over, you know, when it comes to these tier 4 characters, it's so difficult to level them up. It takes so many resources. Netmarble is really, really stingy with the resources for tier 4 materials. We'll see if this new PvP game mode that we're going to get actually has tier 4 materials. If it did, that would be pretty damn awesome, but I'm not really sure if it does or not yet. But you know, whenever you're playing with a mighty rage, you know, the way it works is you want to keep hitting your skills to build up the proc for it, so that way you can get that extra critical damage. That's the big thing about it. So whenever I'm playing with Black Widow, I throw in her second skill more often than what I normally do in my normal rotation, so that way I can bring up that rage proc over and over and over, or the mighty rage proc over and over and over, so I get that extra critical damage and do a lot more damage. And you guys can see she's doing very, very well. That thing really does make a big, big difference for her, and I imagine for everybody else as well, right? You don't have to spend $50 on this thing, guys. I mean, you can reforge one. I just did it because I'm lazy and really don't want to wait. I'm very impatient. But, you know, I'm just being honest with you guys. But, I mean, she's really doing super, super well. And this is why I didn't want a tier 4 Shadow Shell, right? I also didn't want a tier 4 Shadow Shell because Black Widow is just such a complete character with her tier 4, the fact that she dodges everything. I mean, she's just so good. I've used her. She can go to the highest level against Null with a rage. She can go against the highest level against Mephisto with a rage. She can go very, very high against Ultron with a rage. And I'm going to show you guys that she can do very, very well against Gorr also with a regular rage, not even a mighty, right? The girl is just complete, right? Not the strongest speed character, right? Shadow Shell's actually stronger than her, especially in World Boss. But, I mean, do you really need to have her at tier 4? I mean, only if you're pushing, I guess, like the super high echelons of maybe Gorr or Jean Grey? And, you know, and how many players are just at that point in the game? I mean, very, very few, my friends. Very few are that high. I'm not even there. I'm not even there. And I do push world bosses, you know, quite religiously. But, I mean, I'm just so happy to see my waifu, Black Widow, getting it done and getting a max score in ABX. And this wasn't that difficult, guys. This wasn't difficult at all. This only took me like 2 runs. Just 2 runs with my speed superhero team, right, to try to get that max score. And it's not a big deal to get the max score, but it's nice to see it. Whenever you do see it, you know that your character's strong enough to where you don't need another tier 4 of the same typing. That is phenomenal. And now we're going to go on to ABL, right, and show you guys just how well she can perform in ABL. Now, the thing about ABL is the score that you're always trying to get in here is 6 million points, so you can get the maximum rewards out of this game mode, right? The only players that care about getting or capping it or getting the max score are, like, you know, top alliance players or people that just want to showboat and gloat about, you know, how well they're performing in ABL. But anything past 6 million points other than that is really, it just isn't a need, right? You're getting the max rewards once you reach 6 million points. So for most players out there, that's the place they're going to be at in the game. And Black Widow, guys, but when I had a regular rage on her, she was able to hit about 5.8 million on a good run in ABL, which is pretty damn awesome. but it wasn't quite that 6 million. And like I said earlier with the ABX run that I did, is that I knew that if I would just give her a Mighty Rage, it would be more than enough for her to be able to get the max score. And considering that I have 100% physical attack on my cards, you players that have like say 80, 70, maybe even 60% with a really good run, guys, with a Mighty Rage, it might be possible for you, with a max build of course, to be able to get that 6 million points with Black Widow. Even though Shadow Shell is the meta here, again guys, you're just not going to care about that unless you're pushing the super high echelons of World Boss, and I mean super high. Black Widow with a regular rage can already do the highest stage possible against Null. She can already do the highest stage possible against Mephisto. She can go extremely high against Ultron, guys. She's super easy to play, especially with her tier 4, the fact that she dodges everything. And I'm going to show you a run against Gorr after this, just how insane she is, right? She's just, like, I feel like she's just such an undervalued tier 4. And that's why I always try to reiterate and try to do these videos about her to show her, like, show you guys that, man, she really is just so amazing. She's such a great character, such a complete character, right? I mean, she is doing very well. You know, we have 4.6 million right now. We're going to hit 6 million. And the score that we're going to get is actually going to be quite a bit over 6 million. And that just leads and shows you guys that, you know, again, if you don't have 100% physical attack and you have, you know, I have 22% Pierce also. Say you have, you know, 80% or 70% physical attack. You might be able to cap out this, especially with a Mighty Rage. Because that thing really does add a tremendous amount of damage for her in this game mode. It makes a big, big difference for Black Widow. She really, man, she just plows Surtur down, just destroying him. And look at that. 6 million points right now. And we had about 19 seconds to spare whenever we hit that 6 million points. And a big reason why Black Widow can perform really well in here is that she dodges everything. She has a lot of high-end native dodge in her kit. But because of her tier 4, she just dodges everything. So Surtur doesn't deduct points from her whenever he's attacking. 6.5 million is a really, really good score. Like, I mean, guys, I'm getting the max rewards out of here, which is fantastic. Now, we're going to go on to Gorr. Now, this is stage 44 Gorr, guys. We're getting up there. This Gorr does a lot of damage. Now, she took some damage there, but her high dodge actually helped out a lot. But the thing about Black Widow, guys, is once you get the ball rolling with her, once you start playing with her, and she's got that huge heal built into her kit, as long as you're going, you know, 4-5, 1-3, and then 2-1, you always want to throw in that 2-1 afterwards, so that way you can build up that tier 4 proc, or build up the tier 4, so that way you can dodge everything, and you can just play super carelessly, super aggressive. And look at me, guys, look, purple attack showing up. We don't care. She doesn't care. Purple attacks show up. Every attack shows up. She does not care. She just plows and plows and plows and plows and destroys, man. She does so freaking well here. It's just nuts. Like, I was honestly shocked, no pun intended, that she would do so well against, you know, Gorr. I mean, Gorr is a very difficult boss to take down. Now here, I'm just going, you know, 4-5, and then I'll go, you know, 1-3 or just 3, right? And I just fluctuate back and forth between 4-5, 1-3, 4-5, 1-3, right? And you could use her tier 4 just to make sure you don't take any damage, right, from any of those attacks. We're just kind of waiting around. She kind of plowed through those pretty quick. Pretty easy for old girl, right? But this is what I love about her, you know, kind of like Hawk, except Hawk's just like got all this HP and he just, you know, can tank a lot of attacks. Black Widow just dodges every damn thing, so you don't have to worry about nothing. There we go. Oh, yeah. And there we wanted to get all the buffs from the tier 3, use all those at once so we can do as much damage as possible. But look at this, guys. Like, this is what I love about the character. It's like you have so much leeway to make mistakes, right? And against Gorr, that's nice. And against any of these world bosses, that is awesome. Having that leeway to make tons of mistakes so you can get it done is awesome, right? I mean, she is just so good. So awesome, man. What a cool character, right? Lasting the test of time, right? I mean, just Like players that tier 4 Black Widow, they're going to be able to use her for a tremendously long time. And unless they increase the ABX scores or increase the rewards in ABL to where you have to get a higher score to get better rewards, I don't see the point in having any other speed female tier 4 unless you're in super high levels. I guess maybe against Gorr or against Jean. But you can see that at stage 44 with 22% Pierce and 100% physical attack with the build that you guys saw, that Black Widow can do this no problem. This is not difficult for her at all. I mean, I'm just kind of spamming my skills, which is something else that's pretty nice about a rage, but I always want to hit that tier 4, guys. You want to hit that tier 4 as much as possible because you want to be able to dodge all these attacks because Gorr can really one-shot you pretty easy. Oh yeah, plowing on. Look at her go. Now look at that. Almost 2 minutes left. Almost 2 minutes and the girl destroyed this. So she can even go higher than this, guys. Like, she is just such an awesome character. And again, such an undervalued character. And I really do think anybody that tier 4's Black Widow is just going to love her for a long time because she's just going to get it done for a long damn time. So guys, let me know what you think about the 8-year anniversary and all the deals that they're throwing out at us. And let me know what you think about Black Widow. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. DGlow7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.